Hey everyone, FinalBoss here. We have ODK. He's going to go over the method to determine the amount of risk to keep you in the game longer.
Well, how much should I risk per trade? How do I determine that R? Well, that's a really important question because, as you can see in the footnote, here at OMBA, what we believe is that a stable trading career starts with developing a trading plan that accepts losing trades as a part of the game. All right. Which is ironic, right? Because a newer person will say, "What do you mean losses? I don't ever want to take losses. I don't lose. I do such perfect analysis. I win every time." That's already a very newbie way of thinking. Only a neophyte would think that way, right? A veteran in trading recognizes that no, losses are a part of the game. And the more I can embed losses into my plan and make it reflected as a true reality that I must face. It's not something I can avoid, but something I must face. If one's trading plan really reflects those losses, that's how you can tell this is a very realistic plan. It's a very stable plan. And therefore, you'll have a very stable trading career. So that's why we're trying to determine R, the amount of risk we're willing to take per trade. Right? Well, here's a rule. Each trade that we take should be a predetermined percent of your total account value. That's why for a person who's taking a trade and they've made $10,000, let's say, right? They're able to say, "Look, I made $10. Celebrate with me, guys." Well, you shouldn't get FOMO if you're not able to take the same kind of risk and make the same kind of reward, right? What you should do is congratulate that individual. So, well, congratulations, you made $10,000, and I can only assume that you risked $10,000, and the only reason why you risked $10,000 is because your account is big enough to handle that kind of risk, right? Each trade should be a predetermined percent of your total account value. You might say to me, "Well, but I have a small account. How am I supposed to make those kinds of big trades?" And the obvious implication is that you shouldn't be taking bigger trades than you can handle, right? Bigger trades than you can handle. You should be taking smaller trades because you have a smaller account. And here we want to just defend that account. We want to preserve that capital by focusing on risk, right? And so here are some baseline numbers. If you're conservative, you want to stick to 0.1 to 0.1%, 0.4% per trade, right? If you're a little bit on the moderate side, sure, go ahead, kick it up a little bit, 0.5 to 1% max, right? If you're truly aggressive, even up to 2%, but anything more, it could be a problem, right? It could be a problem, right? Why? See, stupid traders bet their whole account on one trade, right? They fail to realize the 5 things on the right. First, they fail to realize that losses are inevitable and frequent, right? Second, they don't realize that drawdowns and loss streaks are statistically impossible to avoid. Consider the chart. You can see the yellow and the white, right? What is this chart showing? This chart is showing the probability of X consecutive losing trades within a 100 trade sequence, okay? So what does that mean? Let's imagine you had a 50% win rate. You can see the win rate on the very left. If you have a 50% win rate, which, okay, that's a reasonable win rate if you're not very good at what you're doing and it's basically like a coin toss, you have a 95% chance that from now until the next 100 trades, that in the next 100 trades, you have a 95% chance you will have at least one instance where you will lose 5 times in a row. 5 times in a row. You have a 95% chance, right? So when somebody goes and bets their entire account on one trade, citing conviction, perhaps, okay, I'll give them that. Maybe they'll say, "I have conviction. I'm going to go all in on this." Well, what if you have one of those 5 loss streaks? Wouldn't that drawdown completely wipe out your account? It would, right? Even though you might have conviction, it's very possible that you might still be wrong. and you're going to bet your entire career on that one trade, even though there's a 95% chance that you're going to have a 5-loss win streak, wouldn't it be wiser instead to bet smaller so that you could absorb those 5 losses, 6 losses, perhaps even 7 or 8 losses in a row, only to bounce back because you have such a statistical edge in your strategy? That would seem like a wiser thing to do. And yet people in the markets don't do that because, well, they're new. They don't know what they're doing, right? A facet that here at OMBA, all the moderators, we really believe in is that in the markets, anything can happen. I can't tell you how many times I've seen the word crazy in 1 week. Every week. Every week we're always going, oh my goodness, that is crazy. That's just nuts. I can't believe that happened. We say that every day almost. Because in the markets, extremes are very common. Fourthly, no one can perfectly predict the future. You might say, well, what about my Furu, right? What about my Furu? He seems to be right all the time. She seems to be right all the time. Her perfect technical analysis, her very special indicator that allows her to pinpoint the tops and the bottoms perfectly. Yeah, sure, there might be very skilled traders, but even they will tell you that they're not a genie that knows the future. They're just very good at what they do, and so they have a high win rate. But no one can perfectly predict exactly what will happen. And 5 is the punchline, right? It's when you over leverage into trades that causes a trader to lose all their money before their statistical edge has enough time to finally play out. And so for this reason, don't be a stupid trader. Don't bet your whole account on one trade, right? Bet an amount that would allow you to lose a few times if you need to before finally the markets start to behave exactly as you would want it. That's the way you can have longevity in this game.
Thanks for watching. Hope you learned a thing or two today. Consider joining us at OMBA Trading, where we do this live every day.